China, China. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an interesting situation happening with the youth here in the United States, the liberal communist youth coming out now and downloading this new app that it's on the App Store, it's in Chinese, but you guys have to understand China made the app, so we have to download it. Like this is very strange, but I'm going to break this entire thing down. You've got TikTok. People are saying it's getting banned. It might. It's got like a 70% chance right now. If you look at the betting on TikTok being banned, is it good? Is it bad? What's Trump's opinion? What's the common Republican opinion? It seems to be kind of split right now, with some Republicans saying no, they're just doing it because they want to stop free speech. And with TikTok, I mean, I thought originally that TikTok was banning certain things. I didn't think there was any crazy free speech on TikTok, but to be fair, there is an interesting component with TikTok because it's a very young audience, and a lot of those young kids are very liberal, and a lot of them hate what Israel is doing in Palestine. And so you could argue there's that element to this entire thing. Originally, Trump came out and said that he wanted it banned. Remember, this was like 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, it is Chinese spyware. They admit it, and then obviously what they'll say, people that like TikTok, a lot of times the young kids who just want to keep using the app and it entertains them. They say, well, American companies spy on you too, but isn't there a bit of a difference between China spying and American spying? But so it is a Chinese app, and Trump said we need to ban it. Then Trump said, no, I don't want to ban it. Then I think he reversed and said he wants to ban it. And then recently he came out again and said, no, I do not want it banned. But the Biden administration is trying to get it banned. They say, obviously, there's Chinese influence, Chinese spyware, with ByteDance being a Chinese company and basically being owned by the Communist Party there. And now liberals are flocking to RedNote, which I guess is this app right here. You can see, they don't even know. You can't even tell what it's called, but it's China made it, so it must be good. It's the communists. It's a very strange situation. An app controlled by China to replace TikTok. Turns out they ban LGBTQ content, all inappropriate outfits, and only two genders. And so it's like, this has got to be tough for liberals. You got the communism, you love that, the communist Chinese, but they're banning all your LGBTQ stuff. You know what? They can deal with that. It feels like they almost like the socialist communist aspect over all the LGBTQ crap because they go out and they march. I mean, this is like lesbians go out and march for same with trans people for Palestine, and we know what Palestine and the Middle East thinks of trans people in general, but it doesn't seem to bother them. So it's just very odd. Like, and another thing that's kind of strange is how there's no, and you could argue, and there's YouTube Shorts, there's the IG Reels, there's other things. Even now, X has something to where if you watch a video and you just scroll up, it's just more videos because they're all going to this short form thing because it's very easy in terms of keeping you hooked and keeping you with that dopamine rush rather than watching a longer form YouTube video like this or like something else where maybe it's 30, 40, 50 minutes like a documentary. It's easier for them. So that's what they're trying to market. But I'm surprised. This has always been a possibility. Wouldn't there organically be an American competitor? I don't know if it would be like a Vine 2.0, but something along those lines to challenge TikTok in the idea that it might get banned. Even if it doesn't get banned, it's American. But is there just nothing that's being created? This is just strange to me. And now you've got this Chinese app, which people can't even read what the directions on the app are because they're not in English. And you've got liberals who are like synced by the Communist Party in China. Like they're like, Daddy, please put it in English. Even if you don't, I'll still love you. It's like this weird, strange thing that's going on. And they're all flocking there. It's like, I mean, I can understand, I guess, the idea of you don't want to create a YouTube channel because the algorithm is different in terms of the short form content. If you have an app specifically designed like Vine was, like TikTok, for short form only, and of course those people want to make money, so then they end up like, oh, now it can be long form or short term. I don't know if TikTok, what do they turn into, like 3-minute videos you can make and stuff like that, because they want more money, they want to put ads in there. But it's just, you don't have a specific app that just does short form content because that's really how you grow if you want to grow quickly on social media, it's through short form content on something like TikTok. TikTok was the easiest way to grow, to go from 0 to 100K. Now, the only way to market that and monetize it would be through sponsorship deals, or getting a following via TikTok and then having your audience transfer and tell them to go take a look at your YouTube channel or Instagram and getting sponsorships through that. But it's just odd to me, like this obsession with China. It's very, very odd. And, you know, I can understand the influence, because this entire thing with the United States banning TikTok, not banning TikTok, saying, well, it's because of national security, and but the whole Chinese component to this thing is just it's very odd. And like, in the grand scheme of things, TikTok, like we'll never know unless they decide to come totally clean with everything that happens, to where how much of our data gets stolen by China, how much of it gets stolen by our own government, and who utilizes it better. Like, we're never going to know the answers to any of that. So it's hard to really say, oh, they need to ban it immediately, or no, they shouldn't ban it. They're just doing this because it's a bunch of young kids on these apps that are very left wing, that certainly do not like Israel. You know, it's hard to really decipher the you know, amount of, well, they have to ban it because all of our information is being stolen and it's giving China a massive advantage. But it's just because we don't really have the exact numbers. And also, U.S. companies steal our information as well, and which is another app they do. But a lot of these kids are coming out, they just don't want the app to be banned because they like using it and going on it 24/7. That's what a lot of this is. But I can I mean, whether it gets banned or not, I mean, the idea of TikTok itself is very bad for young people. It kills their attention spans, and it also, you look at some of the studies, it creates personality problems with people, to where it's almost like they become introverted because they don't want to talk to other people. They just constantly stare at their phone. It's like a phone addiction now with young kids. You know, if you have young kids, it's probably a good idea to keep them. And this is the problem now in America with our culture, and this needs to be a culture shift. If you have a kid who's like 7 or 8 years old and all of his friends have phones, then he gets made fun of, and he's like, I want a phone because all my friends have them. But if none of them have them, it's better. And you do that until like they're at least 12 or 13. You know, I didn't even get a phone until it was a little bit different, I guess, considering now it's like the more you advance, the more technology you get. I guess growing up now it'd be different, but I didn't get a phone until I was, I think, 13 or 14. I had an iPod Touch, and then I got a iPhone 4 actually. But it's just one of those things to where with young kids, especially they're 7 or 8 years old, they're spending 2-3 hours on this a day. This cannot be good for them. We never did that. This would hurt our development. And it's a tough thing, because it's like, if you're a parent, you just want to have the kid entertained to just quiet him down, but it's just not good. But you know, I feel like this is going to exist either way. They're just going to go to YouTube Shorts. And so that's the thing with TikTok and what it did. It made competition, and now YouTube's developed their YouTube Shorts, and now you've got X with a version of it, and now you've got IG Reels, and I'm sure there's other stuff. You know, Facebook has another scrolling version of it. So now they've all got it. So it doesn't even matter if they ban TikTok or not. It just seems like TikTok, there's a large contingent of a lot of young people. And so, you know, you could say, well, it is Chinese, but it's hard to really decipher how important is it. It's just weird, the stranglehold that China has over young liberals. And then you've got stuff like this: the US government watching Americans jump from TikTok, not even a Chinese owned app. Oh no, it is owned by the Chinese. ByteDance is a Chinese company, and it's you look at some of the stuff, it's all in the CCP. I don't know what that means, but it's definitely owned by China. To RedNote, which is in fact a Chinese owned app. I mean, yeah, it's like, it doesn't even matter now, even if you ban it, because all these kids just gonna go to the other Chinese version. If RedNote is banning gays results in leftist Zoomers turning into staunch anti-communists, oh, that's not gonna happen. They go to the app because it's communist Chinese. TikTok refugees have already noted harsh restrictions on RedNote that have resulted in their content being removed or their accounts being suspended. But that's just daddy China at work. You got to respect that. It's just like Palestine, supporting Palestine. They hate everything. It's like, you know, the gays for Palestine, trans for Palestine. They hate your existence, but support them. It's the same thing. They would still support it for like look at this. Look at this app. I mean, you got like kids downloading this. And then they're like, please make an English version, please. It's such a good app. Oh, man. Red Note is banning content and accounts related to LGBTQ+, but it doesn't matter. This is why they support Palestine. They don't care. They lose the loyalty to the LGBTQ when another nation is like, a loyalty of another nation like Palestine or China is at risk. Then that usurps the LGBTQ support. It goes over it. But in the United States, heaven forbid anyone say, no, we shouldn't have gay pride flags out. It's obnoxious and annoying, and it makes our country look bad and weak. If you say that, then we're horrible, but all these other countries, they can ban all the LGBTQ stuff, and these liberals will still support them. You see just the ridiculous double standard of these people, but they don't really care about any of this. They just, they'll probably still use that. I mean, it's like the #1 most downloaded app. Now that tends to happen, you know, we'll see if it stays and becomes one of the most popular apps. But if they market, you know, it to Americans, I'm sure a lot of these kids are going to start downloading it and using it. And, you know, it does bring up the idea, is this censorship? Is it right that TikTok is being censored? It's been a long conversation. I mean, it just depends how much information they're getting from American citizens and how they're utilizing it, really. And does it even matter? Because we're, you know, so again, it's hard to really say. It's like you would have to make a really, really good case that this is a serious problem rather than you're banning it for other means. Although I don't necessarily think that, oh, this is horrifically bad because it is owned by China. ByteDance is see, this is probably like a dumbass 12-year-old kid who's like, he's got the anime profile. He's like, ByteDance, it's not even a Chinese. Well, hey, dumbass 12-year-old, go do your fucking Algebra 1 homework. Just these like 12-year-old kids come on here and just, none of them, you're saying it's not a Chinese app. ByteDance is a Chinese company. Now go solve, what's 5 times 4? It's just with these kids, it's like, it's enough with these kids and politics. It's like 7-year-old kids trying to talk to me about politics. Just shut up and go drink a frickin', have a sippy cup. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.